Here we go. This is the graduate level propaganda that comes from Hillary's supporters. I knew there was one more. So they tried to make this false equivalency between the nurses union that follows Bernie around and has raised like $2.3 million on Bernie Sanders. Whew, man, I'm trying to make it, folks. $2.3 million they raised for Bernie Sanders. Compared to, let's say, Priorities USA, who has raised $50 million for Bernie Sanders, for Hillary Clinton. They make this false equivalency. And then they run out on the interwebs and they run out onto their media platforms and say Bernie Sanders is directly benefiting from this PAC money. And he's saying that he's not using super PAC money. Whereas Bernie Sanders has absolutely no coordination with the nurses union. And Hillary Clinton does have some coordination, which she shouldn't, but there is some coordination in terms of spending, in terms of campaign ads, right? They're spending money in places where she now doesn't have to spend money. That's coordination, right? I don't care what anybody says. If somebody is spending $10 million in a certain area and I don't have to spend it and I don't spend it, that means that I knew that money was going to be spent. But anyway, I digress. The point is they make this false equivalency between $50 million and $1 million. They run and they attack Bernie Sanders over the $1 million for which he has no control over and say nothing about the $50 million because Bernie Sanders is just as bad as Hillary Clinton, 5-1, right? Not even 5-1. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, I'm going to end soon in a minute, folks. But anyway, the false equivalency is exactly what conservatives do. They try to make everything a wash so that we really can't have a conversation on the fact that Bernie Sanders is doing all of this on small donor money. And the 1.3 or the $2.3 million that he gets from SuperPac, from a nursing SuperPac funded by the people, a union, compared to no telling where this money comes from in Priorities USA. They try to make it a wash and make it an equivalency when it is very far from any type of equivalency. But yet, if they can make this false equivalency, and I'm going to say it as many times as I need to, then they make it a wash, and we can't talk about how exciting and how significantly different Bernie Sanders' campaign is because, oh, Bernie Sanders is just as bad as Hillary Clinton on money, when that is not true. That is propaganda level super saiyan. That's exactly what that is. That's what conservatives do. And so to me, if you have to use false equivalencies, low voter turnout, you have to control the narrative, you have to suppress conversations, you have to use false equivalencies, and I've repeated that already, then to me, based on the definition that I go on, plus you're not going to do anything really for the middle class, right? You are Reaganomics light. You may not be as crazy as Reagan himself, but you're not going to take us enough back from the direction that he started because you're a beneficiary thereof. All of these things add up to me to say, no, you're not a progressive Hillary Clinton. You are more of a conservative. You would be a conservative compared to any number of politicians in the past. All right, let me take this last caller because I don't think I can do much more tonight, folks, but it has been fun. This caller has been patient. What's your name, comment, and or question?